All right, we're live. What's up, you guys? This is your boy Ash here, coming at you guys with another live stream, man. I know I'm on my backup channel. Like I said, channel suspended for a week, so I cannot go live on that channel, unfortunately. Especially the fact that, week one of the 2021 NFL season is like literally less than a week away. Um, Very unfortunate, but what can you do? It is what it is. It was kind of my fault on my part showing some copyright videos, but then a certain flag you had to go in, and since he's so obsessed with me, since he's so obsessed with every little thing that I do, because at the end of the day, I called his mama on him, and now this bitch literally cannot do a damn thing to me, and he knows that I'm one phone call away from a person that I know in Tennessee that was a former Northaniel can fuck him up. But anyways, no, let's enough about that. I want to talk serious for a second here. Listen, today I woke up pretty late last today. I went to bed pretty late last night. Today the Raiders cut Tanner Muse. Now, honestly, see, I got mixed feelings about it because I thought Tanner Muse did very solid in the preseason, and I thought he did deserve a roster spot. Did I want him to start? No. Hell no. Did I want him to start? Fuck all that shit. Did I want him to start? Now with the linebacking core that we have, now with the linebacking core that we have right now intact, we have one of the better linebacking cores in the league. But here's the thing, though. KJ Wright, Denzel Perriman, those guys are rentals. We're only going to use them for 1 or 2 years. So wouldn't it be the smarter thing, Raiders, is if Tanner Muse can just sit behind those guys? I mean, maybe we can bring him back onto the practice squad, but sit behind those guys, learn from those guys a thing or two, and then once your time comes, next year or the year after that, then maybe you can reach your full potential, having guys like KJ Wright, Denzel Perriman, and Kwiatkowski and others help you with your development. I mean, this guy had a lot of potential in the preseason. And not to mention, too, you want to cut him during his birthday. You couldn't just wait it. So, I get that the NFL is a cold-hearted business. I get that the NFL is fucked up and, there's going to be some shit that's going to go down that, doesn't make sense because, again, at the end of the day, this is a business. But I'm going to go ahead and just say what I have to say right here. This is another failed third-round draft pick. Josh Dubois, who I hate, right? Literally brings nothing but negative energy on Raiders Twitter. I mean, brought up a fact about this. I mean, this man, Mike Mayock, has pretty much almost every third-round draft pick we've had since he's got here hasn't lived up to the hype. Same thing with Gruden, but, I'm more so blaming this on Mike Mayock, bro. Mike Mayock, honestly, I thought that Reggie McKenzie was a terrible GM, but at least Reggie McKenzie had that 1 year where he accidentally got it right for once. And that was in that 2014 draft class. I have yet to see, maybe in 2019, because that 2019 draft class was pretty damn good for 1 year, But at the same time, too, we haven't found those franchise cornerstone players. I mean, I think maybe with Josh Jacobs, but that's about it. Other than that, Mike Mayock, this is the same guy that reaches for draft picks year after year after year with us. It's I get it. John Gruden has the big contract. John Gruden has final say. John Gruden has this. John Gruden has that. And I get all of that. I get that if the Raiders don't make the playoffs this season, most of the blame will be taken out on John Gruden. Same thing for myself. I don't blame that. But at the same time, too, it really doesn't help you, especially when you're fucking rebuilding, trying to build your own team, that you got a GM that literally reaches for almost every fucking draft pick in the first fucking round. 2019, you reached for Cleveland Farrell, could have had Devin White, could have had Josh Allen, could have had Devin Bush. Instead, you pick Cleveland Farrell, who's now with the second tier teams, and now you want to admit that another thing too is it's one thing to admit that you were wrong, but at the same time too, why say it after your third year? When usually by year 3, he hasn't even started his third year. usually by like year 3, you ask yourself like, okay, this is the make or break year for this guy. I want to say this right now. Say that a lot of people are disrespecting the Raiders hard and whatnot, and that's fine and whatnot. You know, some of it, I can understand. Some of it, it's just I think it's really just hater goggles on, and that they literally think that the Raiders, like any move that we make, like for example signing KJ Wright was a bad move, thinking that it's going to be another Derek Johnson move or another slow linebacker that we had. But the reality is KJ Wright was the 67th best player in football last year, and this is a guy who put up big numbers last year. I don't get why Seattle didn't want him back. Well, actually, at the same time, too, they wanted to make sure the price was right, But listen, when I say this, at the end of the day, when it comes to drafting, Mayock is fucked up. Cleveland Farrell, Damon Arnett, I mean, listen, I like Henry Ruggs a lot, and I think he will definitely improve in year 2, but I would have wanted CeeDee Lamb, Instead of Damon Arnett, why didn't you get Patrick Queen at the time when our linebacking core was just not good? Like, now it's good, but the problem is a lot of these linebackers that we have is rental. Denzel Perriman's a rental. KJ Wright's a rental. So we'll see. And then, this year with Alex, I mean, we'll see. I like what Alex would bring to the table so far, but I still expect him to be pretty raw his first year. Like, I don't expect him to be this beast of a tackle, like right away, right off the gates. Oh, man, I really hope that this draft class, because this draft class, I looked at this draft class and I actually do like this draft class because it's mostly defense, and we drafted Trevon Moehrig, we drafted Tyreek Gillespie that I like, that could be a gem. Nate Haas has looked good. Alex Leatherwood has looked good. A lot of these players have looked very promising in camp, but again, it's just camp. Like, honestly, if the Raiders don't make the playoffs this year, I know the anger is going to be taken out on John Gruden. But honestly, I don't want to hear shit from people. I don't want people crying if we do like fire Mayock first before Gruden. Which, I mean, like that's what like like the perception is going to be. That's what the expectation is going to be if the Raiders miss the playoffs. Is that Mayock will go first? And to be honest, you know what? I'll be happy if he gets fired. Because I've tried defending Mike Mayock, and I thought like back in 2019, we made a good hiring. But the last 2 years, man, he's just really been sus. Overall, he's been sus. And I get that, like, John Gruden has that big contract, and he hasn't lived up to the hype, even though every year we've improved record-wise as a football team, but still no real progress has been made. But still, like, how could John Gruden, right, get to a team where they're supposed to be if if he has a GM that doesn't know how to draft or develop the right players? You drafted a guy in Damon Arnett who was projected to be a 3rd-round pick in the 1st round. You're asking John Gruden and his coaching staff, here you go, this guy, Damon Arnett, like, make him into a fucking future all-pro corner and whatnot. The fuck? Mayock is a joke, bro. Like, honestly, bro, like, if you wanted to cut Tyler Moose, I mean, that's one thing. I would have liked to keep them on the roster, but to do it on his birthday, bro, like, it's just bad business. It's bad business, bro. And honestly, bro, like, maybe it's just me saying that, like, because I've seen John Gruden, like, well, I wasn't around, but I know John Gruden built that Raiders team that went to the Super Bowl, bro. If you give him the right pieces, like, if you make him draft the right pieces, right, like, how do I say it? It's hard for me to explain it right now. I'm just kind of my mind is all over the place, but, like, if you give him the right pieces, right? Okay. say that you drafted the players that I mentioned from before, like say again, I'm not listen, I'm not gonna be this GM guy. I was saying that I have a better philosophy than Mayock and whatnot. Maybe this is all just like a long term plan. Like who knows? Like, but say that we drafted Josh Allen. Say that we drafted CeeDee Lamb. Say that we drafted Patrick Queen. Say that we drafted Christian Dariusaw. You know, instead of the players that we had drafted that we had reached for, in the first round. This draft class, man. I mean, this team would look a lot more different. A lot of people in the media would say, "Oh, this team could very well push for a playoff spot," instead of just saying, "Oh, this team, like, you know, like they would not make the playoffs because on paper Denver is better. On paper the Chargers are better." Which, okay, that's fine, but again, like the last 2 years, even though like we haven't been doing that great in the drafts, I think the last 2 years, if we base on the last 2 years, we've been better teams than the Chargers and the the Broncos. And I get it, I do. Like at the end of the day, like these front offices have made more promising picks than we have, and I understand that. But at the same time, too, you still got to get results, and the Raiders have shown more results than the Broncos and the Chargers. So, based on the last 2 years, and yeah, like, but at the same time, too, it's like when we traded Khalil Mack, right? Honestly, like now looking back at it, it's like it's kind of like the Bears haven't won a playoff game with Khalil Mack. They haven't really gone anywhere with Khalil Mack outside that 1 year in 2018. Like really, like it was just a Mickey Mouse playoff appearance that they had in 2020. Like they were just lucky to be there. They like honestly, it was like really undeserved because the Cardinals just choked away that playoff spot. And really, I don't really have too much expectations on the Bears this year as well. And moving forward, unless Justin Fields is good, but like we would have not gone anywhere with Khalil Mack. So I'm glad that we traded Khalil Mack. I know that sounds crazy, it's a difficult decision. It was, but you got draft picks for him. But the thing is, though, you drafted Josh Jacobs over with that Khalil Mack trade. Great, that's a great draft pick. Josh Jacobs is a top 10 running back, and he's only going to get better. Damon Arnett, really? Tanner Muse, really? Brian Edwards. We'll see with Brian Edwards. I'm still very high on Brian Edwards, but he did not look that promising his rookie year. But I think it's going to change this year, hopefully. I believe in Brian Edwards. But I think personally, like, if those draft picks will look a lot more different, like a lot of people, and I get it, like, the media doesn't really know, like, media doesn't know what most of the time what they're talking about and whatnot. I'm seeing people from the media say that already that Mac Jones is better than Tua Tagovailoa, which is a joke in my opinion. I like Mac Jones, but and at the same time too, I was critical of Tua, but I do think that like honestly, come week one, I would not be surprised if Tua outplays Mac Jones week one. I wouldn't. I wouldn't because like again, Tua. I know I'm kind of changing the narrative here, but listen to me when I say this. This is just the media. Like they think Tua's already a bust. And that, they should trade for Deshaun Watson. Like, why would you trade for a guy that's dealing with 20 sexual assault cases? Not even going to be the starter week one. It's going to be Tyrod Taylor, And I get Deshaun Watson wants out. I do. But still, like, like, even with the Texans, like, because I know the Texans don't want to trade him, even though they have to. But, like, they're not starting him anyways. And it's like, Tua is a year now more than a year removed from his hip injury. Now he has weapons, It would not, and the Miami Dolphins were a game away from the playoffs last year. Like, it would not surprise me if the Dolphins do make the playoffs with us, or maybe even win a playoff game. And I don't even like the Dolphins like that. I actually kind of dislike the Dolphins. I actually kind of hate the Dolphins in a way because they always fucking beat us over the most bullshit reasons. But it would not surprise me not one damn bit if they made the playoffs. And most of the media doesn't seem to be talking about it. Instead, they're talking about the Steelers pushing for a playoff spot when really, you know how many pieces the Steelers lost in the offseason? Really? And like it's like everybody's saying that like Josh Allen is going to be this inevitable MVP candidate. Honestly, I think Patrick Mahomes wins the MVP again because now he has an offensive line. So fuck what the media has to think. They're a joke. But I can assure you, if Mayock would have done a better job instead of just quote unquote reaching for these picks, but in my scenario, making all these picks that I think would have been a lot more better, you know, again, like you can't say after 1 year, you're not gonna crown like this player, after 1 year. That's like saying in the 2018 draft class that Baker Mayfield was the best quarterback in this draft class. He's not even like the second best quarterback in this draft class. I say he's like third. I mean, and really depending on Sam Darnold, depending on how he does in Carolina, maybe he might be fourth because I mean I still think Darnold still might have some potential. I know that's a stretch right there, but I know Baker Mayfield's not better than Josh Allen right now and Lamar Jackson right now. But people in the media wanted to crown him after his first year. Anyways, I'm all over the place. I'm going to go ahead. Let me just. I really hope I don't have to make more of these live streams, bro. Like, I really hope that this year for the Raiders, on paper, like, if we can play our cards right, this team is playoff team, no doubt. This team is a playoff team. This team can definitely, win 10, 11, maybe 12 games this year. And I'm not even joking when I say that, if they could play all their cards right. We got a solid quarterback. We got a great running game. Our receiving core, is a little bit thin, but, if they can play all their cards right, it can definitely be solid. And plus, like, we have a great tight end core with Waller, and I think Moreau is going to have a breakout year this year. Our offensive line, again, it's a big question mark, but, if they can play their cards right there, especially with the help of Tom Cable, who's one of the better offensive line coaches in the league and who is better than Mike Munchak. I'm not stuttering when I say that. Better than Mike Munchak. Has a Super Bowl ring instead of Mike Munchak. And remember, we reached for Colton Miller as well. He's gotten better every single year. He's going to be a Pro Bowler this year in my mind if he stays healthy. So this defense, again, linebacking core, looking pretty good. Defensive line, looking pretty stacked. Secondary, it's young and unproven. But if they can play their cards right, if they can improve under Gus Bradley's system, I mean, with guys like Jonathan Abram, Trayvon Mullen, Casey Hayward, that's on paper, that's if they can play all their cards right, that's a pretty good secondary. So the roster ain't that bad. But at the same time, too, if we would have done a lot better with the drafting, I think my energy on the Raiders would be a lot more different instead of just hoping we make the playoffs. That if we would have done a much better job with drafting, maybe I would say that the Raiders might have a chance to compete with the Chiefs in the AFC West this year. When I'm already waving the white flag and already saying right now that the Chiefs are probably going to win the division yet again unless the injury starts flying like flies with them. So the Bears did not win that trade. I mean, if the Bears would have won that trade, the Bears would have had a fucking Super Bowl appearance by now. I mean, let's be real here, KPG. Like, once the Bears traded for Khalil Mack, the year that they had in 2018, everybody had them as a Super Bowl contender, a top 5, top 10 team to compete with Aaron Rodgers year in and year out. Very next year, they punt the season. We beat them in that Week 5 game. And then in 2020, they barely make the playoffs. We finished with the same record as them, KPG, and they haven't done shit since. I've even talked to Bears fans. They say, yeah, like, honestly, like, I think the Raiders honestly won the trade. And it's like, I'm going to be honest, I don't think neither team won that trade. But it's like, I can't blame the Raiders because it's like we would have been in salary cap hell. I think we would have been in a lot more worse position than we are now had we kept Khalil Mack. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Because I don't think that we would have made the signings that we made. So, like, I don't think we would have paid Darren Waller. I don't think we would have paid fucking incognito. I don't think we would have paid Colton Miller. I don't think we would have paid fucking trying to think. There's another player that we have on our team, Yannick Ngakoue, Kenyon Drake. Just saying. Just saying. It's going to be interesting what happens this year. It is, because I know that this team, like, if they can play their cards right, can be a good team, and I know that week 1 game is winnable. A lot of you motherfuckers, I'm seeing a lot of you motherfuckers already picking the Ravens, and that's fine and dandy, because the Ravens, they are a good team. I'm not taking anything away from the Ravens. They are a top 10 team, but if you've been paying attention, the Ravens might be without 3 of their starting caliber wide receivers. They're already going to be without 2, for sure, guaranteed. And they're already going to be without J.K. Dobbins. And you already know, if we stop Lamar Jackson with the running game, and he's going to have to make him throw the ball, considering the fact that he's without 2 of his starting wide receivers, it's going to be a long day for Jackson. And I feel like we have the personnel, the front 7, to do that. Because our linebacking core, again, it's going to be a rental this year with KJ Wright, Denzel Perriman, Nick Witzkowski. No, Nick Witzkowski is going to be here, And then we got some other linebackers too. I just, for some reason, I can't think of them on the top. Divine Diablo and whatnot. And then the defensive line, Yannick Ngakoue, former Raven. Max Crosby. I give Farrell a lot of shit, but he can stop the run pretty well. So can Quinn Jefferson. So can Solomon Thomas. If you utilize them right, Niner fans, not putting him as an edge rusher, but playing him on the inside 3 technique. I know, because I'm a Stanford fan. I've seen Solomon Thomas and how disruptive he is on the inside, not on the outside. So, yeah. Don't be. I don't want you guys to be fucking surprised or shocked if we beat the Ravens Monday Night Football, because I won't be, because I know my shit. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Some of you motherfuckers don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And I'm coming at everybody's neck this year, man. There's a lot of fucking teams I see on the schedule. It doesn't matter how much I question the front office. If they are right about these moves, I'm coming at all your fucking necks. Because I see some of your motherfuckers that say that we're only going to win 4 or 5 games this year. When in reality, you haven't done your fucking homework on this team. This team is hungry. This team has been knocking on the door the last 2 years of playoffs. And hey, sometimes even the greats don't even get it right. Bill Belichick, there were times where he didn't get it right, but he still found ways to win games. And no, I'm not comparing. I'm just saying even the all-time greats don't get it right most of the time. He didn't get it right with N'Keal Harry. He didn't get it right with Jamie Collins. He didn't get it right with Chandler Jones. Still found ways to win championships. Because it's just more than just one player. It takes the whole team. This is a team sport. It isn't an individual sport. Us trading Khalil Mack, that's just one guy. Us trading Amari Cooper, that's just one guy. Understand that. Week 1, let's fucking go. Peace out.